All right. Hangout on Air is live. Let me check the live stream.
FC News. I'm filling that out right now. Anything we need to we want to hit more often here?
Join us on Fridays.
Yeah,
Even if it's late.
that's in there.
We are now
Providing
You on
grade
there?
2 buffs. Oh, yeah, very nice.
All right. There we
All right.
go. Hey, thanks, Max.
One more thing I'm going to add.
Oh,
What's
let
up?
me-
What here?
All right. Max says he can see and hear us. We're live. So, Mew, whenever you're ready, if everyone's ready, get the
Ready,
show
check.
on the road.
Dun-dun-dun.
I'm ready.
boop, boop. Ready?
Alrighty.
I'm not ready.
Alrighty. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2. On this episode of the AIE Podcast,
Become a star citizen.
Coop rides again.
Wednesday operations in SWOTOR.
Captain Sybil's STO update.
We have Abavan and Duras here to talk to us about Final Fantasy XIV.
All that and more coming up right now. Show theme.
And I'll insert. Yep, I'll insert it here.
Welcome to episode 267 of the podcast celebrating the Alea Iacta-S gaming community, the Die Has Been podcast. Greetings, gamers. This is Mewcow, and hopefully you aren't neglecting your alts. To my left is Tetsemi.
No, I've been playing my alts.
And to my right is Makala.
Hey guys, I've not been playing anything recently, but there's some carrot cake in the guild kitchen.
This week we are joined by special guests Abovan and Duras, who are here to talk to us about AIE and Final Fantasy XIV. Welcome.
Hello. How are you?
Hello.
Howdy, folks.
And how you guys been doing?
Well, I've been doing pretty well here. Things I've been working on a lot of things in Final Fantasy recently, which I'm sure we'll talk about, especially with the the new patch that just dropped last week, which was a very hefty patch.
Mm-hmm.
A very large patch.
Yes.
Very
Yeah.
much. Doris,
It's
what have
large
you been up
and
to?
heavy.
Yes.
What have I been up to? I'm actually gaming again. It's insane, but I'm doing that, and I'm doing that in Final Fantasy,
Yes.
as you might have figured out.
Yes.
It's good because you're clearly the heart of the party.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
It's like the
Very,
only achievement
very
I have.
And how about you, Tetsemi and Makala? How you guys been doing?
I've been working way too much. It tends to be I go through fits and phases where I game and I work and I game and I work, and I've not been having a lot of those gaming. As Tet holds up my hard drive that contains WoW. We're having some computer issues. That's hopefully going to be resolved soon. Been working a lot. Gaming I've been doing has mostly been working on some written stuff for an upcoming Star Tours. Wow. Star Wars RPG we're doing via Google Docs. So my brain's
nice.
in a galaxy far, far away, which is weird because I'm playing an ex-Imperial, and we all know how I feel about Imperials.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a stretch for me. Let's see. About it. Not been doing too much because people keep doing dumb things with money, and I have to look into it.
Mm.
That's a whole different game. Hey, Ted, what have you been up to? I've seen your spreadsheets over there. They're pretty nice.
Yes. I have been bouncing between Star Wars and WoW, mainly. I got my third alt in WoW, my DK, up to 110. No, I haven't finished the storyline, so I don't know who the fourth Horseman of the Apocalypse is. I have an idea, but we'll see how that goes. So I'm still doing the storylines for my mage and my No, I finished the mage because I have all the followers. I have to do it for the DK, so I'm working on that right now. That was surprisingly hard for me. Normally, I don't mind running alts up to max level, but having done all that content as world quests over and over, and having to bring a new character in and do it is kind of rough. So just from like, okay, I've done this before, click, accept, go, done. Which is different than Star Wars because I just got my Imperial side Sith Sorcerer 2 max level all the way through the current expansion. But I was doing dark side on there, and the story choices you make change up how the story happens or unfolds, so it makes it a lot more interesting when you replay it stuff, because you're like, okay, I chose this last time on that character, I'm going to choose this on this time this character, and I ended up with like, let's see, I'm trying to remember, Max and I went over you missed 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I either killed or got rid of 5 companions before the end of that story. Whereas with my trooper, I kept as many as I could capture. There's one point where you're going to lose. There's 2 points where you're going to lose one or the other. One through an action of the villain, and then one through additional quest of go recruit this person, and you run into another person that you can recruit at the same time, but it comes down to you're going to pick one or the other. So yeah, that was fun. And then I got my bounty hunter up through his storyline, and he ended up at like 62, I want to say, and I've got to run him through the current expansion, but I got him through Shadows of Revan, so that was fun.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of the micro holiday that we'll cover in the news in WoW. That was fun. Go to Encourage and fight the big world bosses there. Ran through AQ20 and AQ40, and I got the last missing appearance that I needed.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a great add-on called Transmog Token. Basically, anytime a token or an AQ40 like idols or the clay, they look like little scarab beetles drop, you can mouse over them and it'll say, you could turn this in, but you already have this appearance, or, oh, you need this, and here's the other 4 items that you need for that. So
nice.
That made going through AQ40, at least on my plate wearing tune, a lot of fun. And then I did the various turn-ins and stuff.
Cool.
So, but what have you been up to?
Oh, well, going back to McCullough talking about Star Wars, we actually finally saw Rogue One. So
Awesome.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, and I can say that that movie definitely made me feel the most leaning towards the rebellion side, I think, ever.
Yeah.
After seeing that.
It's hard to come off as being pro-Empire, I think, after seeing that film.
Definitely. Even though it gave you kind of like maybe the Empire isn't made of all bad people, but there's still some crap going down.
No, there's...
Yeah. And it just doesn't seem like the Empire, has the same sacrifices for the better cause that the Rebel Alliance does. So
definitely not.
Yeah. Other than that, lots of WoW. And lots of Final Fantasy XIV, which we'll talk more about, and a bit more of Fallout 4, actually, trying to get the last of the DLC finished up. Hopefully get that done soon, too. Other than that, trying to survive the Cedar here in Austin, because it's trying to kill me. Oh,
gosh.
Yeah, well, the doctor has me done some fun, actually, talk and breathe, which are useful things, especially when podcasting.
Or living in general.
Well, yeah,
breathing, pro breathing.
Yeah. Breathing's useful, but so yeah, that's been my time mostly. So then, I guess we'll move right on. So we'll be digging into Final Fantasy XIV shortly, but first let's cover this week's news.
News.
AIE news.
All right. In community news, are you interested in Star Citizen or curious about what's going on in the game as it develops? Duras. Hey, I know that guy. On the forums has created an AIE group in the game for those interested. Check out the forum thread for more information about joining the guild in game. And that's still going active, right, Duras?
Oh, well, it's actually not me. I'm the one that poked my head in to say, hey, what's going on, guys? But Pandazerg, I think, was the guy that started the Corp in Star Citizen when it first came about, 3 years ago? It's still being worked on now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he is active once more. He kind of up and disappeared for a little while, but he is. If you're interested, details in the Imperium Ludi forums will have where you need to go to ask for an invite to the Corp, and things are moving along.
Awesome. Very cool.
I trust they're putting our money to good use.
I hope so.
I'm certain. All right, and in WoW news, did you run with Coop and show the Alliance on Earthen Ring some love? See if you made it into Malfec's video during the event. Did you miss the event or unsure what Coop is? Take a look and talk about it on the forum thread. A big thanks to Grimcow for putting this run together. And speaking of community events, Toxia ran a transmog swap meet this afternoon, so Sunday, the 22nd of January. In Guild Chat, the event started at 6 p.m. server time. Did you get a piece of armor or weapon that you're looking for? Also, let us know in the forum thread. Patch 7.1.5 dropped in between podcasts, as well as the Nighthold raid opened a week later. Are you enjoying the build and group finder for World Quest? Did you supply your alts with artifact homes? Did you punch Gildon in the face? Let us know via email or Twitter, and we'll go over the response in the next podcast. And speaking of patches, Blizzard continues to keep up with content push, dropping patch 7.2 on the PTR. This patch brings another round of UI element fixes, a new raid, a pet dungeon scenarios, and many more things that too many to mention. A good write-up on the 7.2 patch is found over at Wowhead. And patch 7.1.5 brought micro holidays, which Ted just mentioned, the first of which is now active through Tuesday, the 24th. Call of the Scarab is a micro holiday celebrating the opening of the gates of Anchorage in the classic World of Warcraft time period. Run AQ20 and AQ40 to get accommodations off your side, the Horde, of course. Win the next event, which will be represented by a Horde banner flying over.
Hold on. Sorry, he went robot-y.
Okay.
Let me grab that last patch note and have you reset your mic real quick, and we'll go. All right, patch 7.1.5 also brought in micro holidays, which I mentioned. The first of which is active now through Tuesday the 24th. Call of the Scarab is a micro holiday celebrating the opening gates of Anchorage during the classic World of Warcraft time period. Run AQ40 and AQ20 to get the accommodations to help your side, the Horde, win this event, which will be represented by a Horde banner flying over the raids until the holiday comes around next year, and we do the whole thing over again to decide whose banner flies over it next year. There are repeatable meat turn-ins. That's always fun. And if you're not yet exalted with Cenarian Circle, you can scour Solithus for cultists and summon elemental lords to raise your reputation. Wowhead has a good write-up on the holiday.
Sounds like something I need to do. Alrighty, and SWTOR news. Not much from the official SWTOR news side of things, so Max and Zima dig into a couple topics they've had on the back burner regarding Conquest and how to do it, as well as the quality of life features in SWTOR compared to the other MMOs, as well as features they like to see borrowed from those MMOs. SWTOR Escape Podcast 177, How to Conquest. This week at AIE SEMA, at Max the Gray and Astromech EPC 177 revive an older topic that's been of interest to our guild lately, Conquest, and talk through details, tips, tricks, etc. Then on to SWTOR Escape Podcast 178, Quality of Life. This week, AIE SEMA, at Max the Gray and Astromech EPC 178 talk about the quality of life features in SWTOR and what else we'd like to see added. It also looks like longtime member Ori has returned after his life and work schedule got wonky, and separately, Arv has managed to wrangle folks to get the Wednesday night operations group up and running again. Please visit the folks or the forums or SWTOR channel and AIE Discord to hang out and say hello, and find out if you can run the universe as Emperor, Benevolent, or not.
And in Final Fantasy 14, they were invited to the AIE podcast this week. Yay, that's why they're here. What awesome news do they have in store? What will happen in Izoria in the post-Dragonsong era? What news of Hildebrand, the world's greatest inspector? Keep listening to find out.
All right, well, let's see if I robot again.
Nope, you're good.
All right. We have Captain Sybil's Star Trek Online News Summary for the week ending in 1/22/2017. The Zenith Kedith, I hope that's right, are coming. The race that decimated the planet that Starbase K-13 orbited for 700 years with a superweapon has been detected massing a vast attack force in the unexplored region of the Alpha Quadrant. A huge new season 12 story arc will launch January 26th, introducing this reptilian, 12-foot tall, 100-pound, 6-armed Goliath adversary race. Imagine warriors wearing several hundred pounds of armor and cannons as sidearms. The STO website describes them and provides pictures of these monsters. Season 12 also brings 2 new battle queues, Gravity Kills and the Kethy front. Both queues involve destroying the huge reptilian creatures, promoting manufacturing station, and stealing the bombs, all while orbiting a black hole. See the STO website for details. The Gathering of Wills was published on the website blog. Having discovered the, I really should look at how to say this word,
Zenkethy
buildup and testing it on remote defenseless worlds, Klingon General Rodic has been tasked to whip the peaceful Lakari explorer race to a viable army and navy to counteract the threat. The Lakari mission of signs and portents based on this backstory shall be introduced as well. And as always, Sybil is refraining from spoilers. As the concurrent Season 12 release, new space and ground weapons and Infinity lockbox upgrades will be available to be earned by the new Lakari Restoration Initiative. New starships, kit modules, and space and player traits will also be added. The new Lakari uniforms are so fashionable, and according to Sybil, still her beating heart. There's also a new kit and module research school, which will be introduced to personal craft kits and modules as well. Details on the website. And starting last Thursday, January 12th or 19th, and going through Monday, January 23rd, so this Monday, there was a double XP weekend event. During the event, playing all content that rewards skill points and expertise gets a 100% bonus. And don't forget, AIE's original Starbase as well as Starbase K-13 are always seeking contributions of material. Do your part and check the fleet's in-game menu to see what is needed. And as always, check out news, backstories, patch notes, forums, commentary, etc. on the Star Trek Online website, StarTrekOnline.com.
Yay!
And with that, let's get back to Abavan and Duras and find out what's going on in Final Fantasy XIV.
Well, hello. And yes, Final Fantasy XIV did have a big week because it is patch week for us. Patch 3.5, The Far Edge of Fate, that came out last Tuesday. And much like many other Final Fantasy patches, it's a big one.
About 1 gigabyte big.
Yes. Very, very big. We are going to try to bash through as many as we can, as many of the patch points that are of note. So, Darius, you ready?
Am I ready for what? Am I ready? You know me. I'm always ready to fall behind.
All right.
Speaking of which, new story content, right? So, big patch, new story. They're going to carry us into the actual next expansion. This is sort of the doldrums before the new expansion, where you have to rush to try to get everything done because they give you a ton of stuff. So there's new main story quests. So if you've not caught up on your main story quest, do so, because you have to before you can actually move on.
Yes, so get that story stuff done. Also new in this patch, besides the new story content, there is a new 24-man raid that's in there. The 24-man raid stuff is more similar for those in the WoW folks. It's like LFR difficulty roughly, maybe a little bit harder, but it's something that you can do as a large group. First, we had the Void Ark that came out some time ago. Then recently we had the Weeping City of Mach. And now we have Dun Scaith, which is the third and final part of the Heaven's Ward 24-man raid storyline.
And if you are done with your main story quests, there's also tons of side quests. They sprinkle little breadcrumbs all around, including the one side quest that everyone is really always hyped to find out what the Eoria's greatest detective is up to, Hildebrand. So he's back, and he'll be doing more fun things.
Yep, best quest.
Best quest.
And you get dances.
And dances, yes.
You do get dances for doing that one. Also new in this patch is a new Warring Triad boss fight. There's without giving away too many spoilers, there's a little 3 statues towards the end of Heaven's Ward that has the 3 really big bad dudes. On spoiler, is similar to the big statues at the end of Final Fantasy VI, right before the world ends, halfway through the game. It's those 3 statues are actually the bosses. It's actually kind of a really cool crossover there. I like it a lot. But we have the third one to do there. Along the lines, we also have a new Scholatax quest, which is a character from the original Hildebrand quest line, got his own quest line, his own little inspection.
Yeah, for a while I thought it was the same thing. I thought it was some kind of weird, like, related to the Hildebrand, but no, he actually got his own spin-off, so it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, so yeah, it's fun. He has his own way of solving mysteries.
He's like in the screenshot they have in the notes. It's like someone looked at that the other day and told me he looks like some sort of Ellison Harry Potter. Yeah, sort of, I suppose. So if you're into Harry Potter, maybe that's your thing.
Yeah,
but we also have new relic quests, a relic weapon quest, which is not something I've dove into. But if you've spent all this time getting together your relic weapon from the last patch, well, guess what? Here's another one for you. They are job specific. So, weapons, of course, is what links you to your job. And if you're in WoW terms, think legendary quests, right? Because that's the focus of Legion. It's sort of the same deal. You will power up your weapon through questing and adventuring, and you will gauge its power-ups as you continue to gain experience.
Right. And it's what makes this interesting is that you can get a near best-in-slot, if not best-in-slot weapon without actually even having to touch a endgame Savage raid. So there is a good benefit for that.
You can solo it all the way if you want.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Of course, you have to have lots of time too.
Yeah, lots of time. It's definitely something that will keep you busy in the down moments.
All right. As Abelvan just realized that I cannot spell, there is no contrary to people who've read our patch notes, we don't have beat quests, but we do have new beast quests. Which is actually beast quests are like little factions in the game of the little like non-country like little tribes of monsters that you gain up a reputation with through daily quests. They now have another one which actually ties all the Heaven's Ward beast tribes together into a unified set. Now it does require you to have a certain level of reputation with all the other tribes, but it does have one that ties them all together now, which can get you some fun rewards.
Yeah, and I find it amusing that someone who plays a Lalafell talks about how actually little these quests are. Or beast, the beast quest. Drop me a beat. Thank you.
That's a whole different game, people.
It is. There's so much to it. And with this half patch, right, the 3.5 patch, we also get 2 new 4-man dungeons. You'll be doing, typically you will actually end up doing a series of dungeons. In this case, one of them will be for your main story quest, and the other's a side quest. But once you've completed all your actual dungeons, you unlock this, what they call as a roulette, where you can actually now randomly queue up and go into these dungeons. There's expert modes, normal modes. So once you unlock those, they'll be added to your expert roulette.
Right, and that's really good for running your endgame tokens called tomestones. There's a couple different types. No, tomestones.
Correct.
Yeah, so you can do those. There's also something in the game that's called and I always screw up the name real bad here, but it's Aquapolis. That's why is the pronunciation I'll be going with. And what it is, there's something in this game called treasure maps. And with these treasure maps, you either by yourself or as a group, you run out and you look at the treasure map, which it just gives you like a little snippet of a map of the game. And you need to go find that location, you go dig, and then you see a little treasure chest pop up. You open the treasure chest, and what really happens is monsters pop out, and then you have to kill all the monsters, and then you'll get a decent amount of rewards in the chest. Well, in Heaven's Ward, you also have something called the Aquapolis, which is a little portal that has a random chance of popping up on these chests. And if you go in there, you can actually go through a little encounter and then a little guessing game on which door is the correct door to go down. If you pick that, you get another room. And you do that 3 or 4 times, you get a super duper treasure at the end. Well, they just redid that with the latest patch to give it even more rewards by doing it. And it's I've done a couple of them, and they're actually ridiculously fun. They're not tremendously challenging. It's just the drama of going through all the different rooms to see if you actually get into the next room or not.
It's kind of akin to the excitement you might feel when you're playing Diablo 3 and a goblin portal opens up.
Right, along with the Monty Hall campaign. So
yes,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of Let's Make a Deal going on. Or Wayne Brady, if you're
yeah, that's it. Let's make
not
a
old.
There you go.
If you're not old like us.
We don't know what you mean.
Yeah, old. Yeah, we're not old.
We're seasoned. We're high level. Yeah, we're gonna go with that.
Yeah, but I've been watching a lot of HGTV lately, but I'm still not as good at house decorating as Sashi is in our free company. If you didn't see did we get I hope we got screenshots of the holiday setup that she did. But now we're back into sort of normal mode, prepping for some Valentine's Day stuff. They have so many house items that you can get, and they have introduced even more in this patch. The big thing is house paintings. You get paintings and frames, and they're doing it's a fun game, and it's also a game that you can play house in. So, well done.
Yeah, and the house looks really good right now. So it
does.
Yeah, we have a library now. We have a music room. We have the bathhouse, and we have a little section underneath that's also really a little lounging section that's really cool. And
yeah, I'm actually sitting in the basement right now.
Yeah,
looking around. I don't know what these guys are doing. Someone's dancing on the table.
Also new to they added a few more cards to Triple Triad. Triple Triad is the card game that's built into the game. It's not like Hearthstone where it's a separate application. It's actually pretend you could actually play Hearthstone inside of WoW. Well, this is Triple Triad inside of Final Fantasy. Your character actually needs to go and find the cards, either trade for them or you need to get them off of boss drops and so forth. And they added a few more cards, mainly because they added new dungeons, so new bosses that can drop cards, and so you can do more than that. And they did add some new tournaments down in the Gold Saucer that you can join for some more rewards. And so go play cards.
Yeah, so we had house decorating, we had Diablo 3, Hearthstone, Final Fantasy's got it all. What else do we have? We also have glamours. The Summoner, which is one of the jobs in the game, has these pets, which are called eggies. And you can glamour things, so costume, cosmetic appearances, to weapons, clothes, and now Summoner pets. So you can actually have the eggies look like, I think right now it's only the carbuncles, which are, imagine like a little radioactive squirrel. That's essentially what they are. But others are on their way. So I hope we'll see a lot more of them in Stormblood.
Yep. Speaking of your pets, we now have chocobos that can be summoned while you're in your queues in your Grand Company levies, which are like little on-demand quests, gathering levies. So while you're not in a combat class, you can have your chocobo protect you, and so forth. So previously, you could have them out while you're questing around, while you're doing fates and stuff, but you couldn't have them out while you were in a dungeon queue, or you could do that, have them out when you're doing certain quests, certain Grand Company levies. That has been since changed, so they did fix that. So now you can have your chocobos out while you are in a dungeon queue, so that can help you out in case you're waiting for a DPS queue. You could be out running fates, still generating some experience for yourself or what have you. But then when it comes to, you can be in the queue, so when it pops, it just dumps you right into the dungeon. You come back out, your chocobo's right back out, so you're back out to fate grinding again.
Yeah, it was a big quality of life change because it was just one of the most annoying things. That why couldn't they figure this out, a long time ago?
So very annoying. The chocobos were so impatient, but at least now they're more willing to hang out with you while you're waiting to queue, especially as a DPS. Because every game has that problem.
Yes.
You're a DPS, find something to do while you wait.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, there is now a party finder. And this is interesting. There's also a duty finder in the games. Let's not get that confused. Party finders, you actually have to have a party put together. You can also search for parties. And these are now cross quote unquote realm. So if you're in the Aether data center with Gilgamesh, the server we're on, you can now actually team up with people who are on other servers. And if you have tried creating a character on Gilgamesh, you can sort of appreciate this quality of life improvement, because our server is forever locked and very hard to get a character on. But now you can actually party up with friends who are on other servers and actually run content with them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so there is a listing of servers out there. The big trick is when you go through your server selection, if you can't go on Gilgamesh for whatever reason.
So if you're in the Aether data center, so Adamantize, Balmum, Cactuar, Corel, Fairy, Goblin, Genova, Medius, Midgard, Somer, Sargetanus, Siren, and Zalera.
Yeah, and when you go to pick your character, you will have the servers grouped by data center, so it's pretty easy to tell.
Yeah, so you can tell where you're looking. And you can actually private password protect your groups too. So if you don't want anyone crashing your party, then you can agree to meet up and join at this party XYZ. Here's the password, and then you can all run your dungeons.
Okay. Well, let's say for a moment you have played the game before and you do have a character on Gilgamesh, but you just haven't subscribed for a while. They now have a returner status you can get in the game, which someone in the game that would have you on your friends list, they would actually just right-click your name and hit submit a return invitation, and by doing so, you'll get back. Actually, that's something different down the line. We'll get to that. This is just return a status. You just come back to the game for whatever reason. If you've been out of the game for 45 days, and you have at least one level 50 job, the level cap is 60 right now. So if you have at least a level 50 character, you'll get a returner status, which you'll get access to the new player channel and a experience bonus when you group up with a mentor, when you have under level 20 on another one of your classes, and you get access to a little network to help answer questions, because as you came back, there's a lot of game changes. And you also get a little cool icon next to your name, says that you are a game returner person.
That's a really great feature, because so often when you take a step away from a game, you have no idea what's going on. That's wonderful.
And you can't have them hold your hand and say, "Welcome back."
Yep.
Very neat.
And along those same veins, which I think is probably what you were getting at, Abo, is they have this, from time to time, they run these little promotions or campaigns. And this one's called the Callback Campaign, which started, I think, on the 17th, and it's running indefinitely. There is allegedly an end date, but it's unannounced. So for right now, if you have a friend or have made a friend, someone on your friends list who's not been active for 90 days, you can actually send an invite to them. And if they accept the invite, they get 7 free days of game time. They get these Aetherite tickets, up to 99 of them, which basically is free teleports, so you don't have to use Gil to teleport around the game, which is one of the very nice quality of life features where you can just bip and bop all over the place. And 10 silver chocobo feathers, and these things are basically used to purchase items from vendors, which will help you sort of get back into the swing of the game. Nice gear and stuff when you come back. And whomever sends you the invite gets 5 gold chocobo feathers, which, these guys are probably mostly in-game ready anyway. So these are the cosmetics. Final fashion. It's a thing. People love the cosmetic items in this game, and you can use these gold chocobo feathers to actually buy neat gear and outfits and glamours for your character.
And the ever-popular Twitania mount, which is a big dragon, so you can cruise around on, that does dive bombs. It's very cool.
I'll take your word for it.
Yes, I'll show you something. It's very cool. It's a cool mount. Let's see. There's also something called G-Pose in this game, which is more like a screenshot mode. So you can create a little group together, and you can actually create filters. You can do animations. You can stop animations at certain frames. You can push certain frames forward, and essentially go into a screenshot mode. And they've added more functionality to it with this patch. You also can include NPCs as part of your little animation party. You can also do additional filters, additional little action lines to give it some emphasis. You can rotate the camera around. You can do frames and more filters. It's good times. And for those who are fans of Wayne's World, again showing my age, you can do extreme close-ups or extreme zoom outs.
Yeah, it's
nice.
A fantastic feature. I just learned about it over the holidays, and I have never seen something like this in any other MMO or game I've played. The ability just to play with the camera in this game is fantastic. And playing with the game, since I'm up next, let me just look at the notes here. Hotbar layouts. If you're a fan of modding or switching around or customizing your UI, you will be happy to know this is one of the frustrating things that I had with the game, setting up my hotbars, is you can now take your hotbars that are vertical and make them horizontal. You can take the ones that are horizontal, make them vertical. So you actually have the ability to do a lot more with your hotbars now. And you can go like 1x12, 6x2, switch up the arrays however you like. So the ability to actually make your game's hotbars look like you want them to look is new and improved.
Which is definitely welcome, because I've had the same problem as a max level bard. I use all the hotbars.
Yep.
And having those 2 last ones that just don't want to go horizontal was very annoying.
Which song do I use? They're mixed in with these other things. Now you can break them out in a little 3x12 or 3x6 or whatever.
Yep.
And with that, I think that's most of the major points for the patch. I mean, you can go to the website and we'll maybe put a link in the show notes and just scroll through the massive list of changes and updates they've made. Because they've also improved some of the older features from previous patches as well. We didn't touch on PvP, but there's also PvP updates. It's a really big patch, so it's a good time to come back.
Yep, absolutely. So in the free company, which is Final Fantasy speak for guilds, we're still Iacta S. We're still AIE. We're still on Gilgamesh. So if you want to see all of our infrastructure and take advantage of everything we have to offer, Gilgamesh is the place to be.
And if you can't be there and you have troubles creating a character, if you've got $18, you can run your character up on another server. Wait to try to get into an opening, but if you can't, you can server transfer. That's not gated. So you can come over with a server transfer to join us if you really want to.
Right. So come on over to Gilgamesh. As far as talking with us to see what's going on, or even just seeing how we're doing, come on down to the Final Fantasy 14 Discord channel on the AIE Discord, pound FFXIV, or hash, or whatever we call it these days.
Hash.
Channel tag,
hashtag.
whatever it is.
Yes.
Yeah, that channel is busy. 9 times out of 10, when I see that server light up, it's one of 2 channels right now. It's either Star Wars or most likely it's Final Fantasy 14.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes.
and to add, Ro points out in Free Company chat, he's listening to the podcast. Hey, Ro, we have cookies, so come to Gilgamesh. We'll hook you up.
Yes. Speaking of cookies, there is actually food in the actual virtual food in the Free Company house that gives you buffs, including experience buffs and adventuring buffs, and we put it out there for you to eat. Go and eat it, and then take advantage of the experience bonuses or the stat bonuses. Eat it.
So some people say it, right, and they it's a nice gesture, but we actually deliver. There's food on the tables in the house.
Food delivery.
I'm actually going to take a look at it right now.
Hey, was that aimed at me about the food saying it?
No.
Just saying. Saying. Some people say it. I usually do.
Let's see.
Well, we've always had virtual cookies for what, 12 years now? How long have we been around?
Yep.
There's always been cookies.
Here we have
We actually have plates of pumpkin.
virtual oranges up here, which gives you let's see, this is a vitality bonus, gear durability bonuses, experience bonuses. And you can and this one can be extended to 60 minutes by eating 2 of them.
Oh, yum yum.
So that's cool. And let's see, over here we have some kebabs.
And we've also got this other thing called it's F4N, right? Final Fantasy Fun Friday Night. All right, which is like our weekly get together where we all try to reach critical mass and do something together that night on Friday nights, because we're not old, all right? We're out clubbing on Friday. No, we're playing Final Fantasy on Friday nights. Any level, any class, we just focus on trying to do something with the group. So it's usually a fun time. I've made most of them the last few months, and we find something to do, even if there's only 2 of us.
Yep. And it goes all throughout the night. I myself am usually there quite late, and there's still people around doing who knows what.
Yeah, I try to get something going. I've been trying to push people through their story content. Some people want to do the Palace of the Dead, which is the random dungeon in the game. Some people just want to do it, unlock stuff.
Yeah, like me, I basically used the last 3-4 Friday nights to finish my main story quest line for the 2.0 main story quest. So I'm now actually in Heavensward, and I just have to finish that before March when Stormblood hits, right?
We'll get you there.
Yeah, that's just a little bit of content to worry about. No big deal.
Just a little. Just a 62 quest and growing.
Little content.
Okay. Also, let's just say it out there. The house was redesigned, both the inside and the outside. So thank you, Sashi.
Thank you, Sashi.
Yeah, it was a complete rebuild. I mean, I came in and it seemed like a completely different house. Everything's been moved around. Looks like there's different rooms now, different purposes for things. It was definitely a lot of work.
We have a stage now, which is actually very cool.
And outside, we actually have a proper bridge, not that table that went across the pond that sort of looked like a bridge.
Fancy.
And we have little private bedrooms now with working doors.
Doors. With the Valentine suite in here.
Yes. Okay. Also, we also want to put out there for those who are in the Free Company, we now have grade 2 buffs that we're pushing out to everyone. So when you're in the game, one of the game mechanics is that every day the Free Company, you generate credits, and you can either purchase or you make them yourself via crafting Free Company buffs, and they give you such things. And the ones we normally run is one that gives you an additional 6% experience out of it. I believe it's 6%. Just double checking here. No, it's 10%. I'm sorry, 10%.
Yeah, it's bigger than that.
And then we also get provide a teleport rate, which is so one of the things in the game you can teleport around from city to city, and there's normally like one teleport per town, save one, because there's one right next to it. Mm-hmm. And you can teleport that. It just costs some money every time you do it. Well, we have a buff here that reduces that by 30% by each pop there. And big thanks to Kelsier for helping us get the infrastructure set up to be able to do that via.
Yes, Chef Kelsier, who I call the mad cook, because he's always down in the basement concocting something, and he wears this really nice, like, sort of Iron Chef outfit.
Yep, he's cooking up airship parts.
Exactly.
Okay.
And again, groups, communities, it doesn't have to be a Friday night. We've got a lot of people who've, at the holidays have been off and on and are getting caught up, excitement about the new quest. Don't be discouraged if you are behind in your main story quest, because the content drops are gated. So you do have to finish one of the patches before you can move on to the next main story patch. There are people that are more than willing to help you out. Like I was speaking with Jasmine, one of our fellow officers in the game, and her and Sashi have been getting caught up on their main story quest, and they're a healer and tank. So DPS, if you need help getting caught up, look people up. We are more than willing to do dungeons with you and run content, because it's just a good time.
Yeah, and one of the powers of this game is that any one person can be any of the classes. So
exactly.
Yeah, so someone is going to be able to help you somehow.
Just ask. Look us up in Discord. You want to set something up that night. I know Abbo and I both are usually on during the day from work, which is why that chat is sometimes very chatty during the day. And if you don't see people talking, right? If you log in and you pull up the little free company list, and you're like, all right, they're idle, they're AFK, don't be afraid to actually say something. Speak up. We can't hear you if you don't speak up, right? People are there, they're around, they're willing to help and talk and do whatever you want. So don't be fooled. We're very active even when we're sleeping.
Yep.
And I mean, even if you don't even play the game, just want to see what's up in the game, just see what's all about. Come on down, say hello. We'll tell you what's going on in the game. Some stuff there. We don't want to give away plot spoilers so much, because we want people to experience things at their own pace.
You want to talk about the 56 bullet points of what dropped in the last patch? Hit us up in Discord. We'll talk with you. We'll tell you everything about that.
And even if you're let's say your computer say, oh, my computer can't handle this game. Well, get a PlayStation.
I knew that was coming.
Oh yeah, I try to make this point every podcast, every time on this podcast, every time, because it's unique to this game. So the PlayStation 4 version, same servers. You could use a controller, or you can plug in the keyboard and mouse into your PlayStation and play that way. Or you can plug your controller into your computer and play exactly the same way there. And saying, oh, how can I play an MMO with a controller? Because it works. It's designed that way.
Yeah.
I can attest to this, because I'm a convert. I was a guy. I got a PlayStation 4 Pro over the holidays, set it up. I got gifted a copy of Final Fantasy there, and I've played it on both. And I got to say, the controller has got a lot of perks, and I'm actually now reconfiguring my PC to use the controller. So it's a very nice setup.
I know that for crafting and gathering on the PC, I actually do use the controller, because it actually is easier using the controller for that.
Absolutely.
Stuff. And just to be clear, the Final Fantasy 14 on the PC and the PS4 run the same world, same servers, and everything. It's not distinct.
You're not separated from your brethren on the PCs. If you want to be what's the term, elite PC guy, or you want to be a console guy, you can both have the cookies in the guild house or in the free company house. They're there on the table for you both to enjoy.
It's your same character, your same stuff. I mean, it's everything. It's nothing is. The only difference is, I think the hot bars are different between the two things, but that's it.
And just because it just doesn't share hotbars, like I play this game on my PlayStation, I play this game on my PC, and I play it on my laptop when I have to, go places. My hotbars don't follow with me because they're all stored locally.
Mm-hmm. But there's ways around that.
Yeah, but you can pull configs and import them, and setting up and here's a neat feature on the PlayStation 4, just to talk that up a little more. I was skeptical. I did not want to use the controller. I had been putting it off because I feel you, Michaela. I had PC problems recently too, so I swapped to the PlayStation. And Abavan basically shared my console session with him and gave him control. And he was able to help me set up the hotbars and explain things. And I just sat back and ate dinner and watched him do it. So thanks for that, Abbo. It's very relaxing to watch you set stuff up for me. And
PlayStation 4 share play is very cool, by the way.
And I'm going to put you on the line even further and say, I'm convincing him now to actually stream from his PlayStation. So if you're not yet completely sold on the idea of Final Fantasy and just want to see how it's played, watch Abbo's stream.
Yeah, easy, right?
It's Abavan79 is my stream, my Twitchy name, because something happened with. I actually own both accounts, believe it or not. I actually own Abavan and Abavan79, but something weird happened that I could not stream properly from Abavan, only from Abavan79. I don't know why.
Bizarre.
It's very bizarre. And now that I already attached my Prime account to 79, I'm stuck with it. And when I do stream, and when I actually am not just testing it, but I'm actually doing it, for Realgeo, I'll be tweeting things out and announcing when I'm doing it. I might get on the schedule. I don't know. We'll see. I think we tapped out at 8 people last night viewing.
11. There were actually.
There was 11. Okay.
Watching you last night. Yeah.
Part of that is a lot of anonymous people because if you stream from the PlayStation, it shows up as in the now playing feeds with people here that may or may not be logged in, so they may not be chatting, but it counts as viewers. So, yay!
Yeah, I think the PlayStation people can see it, and the Twitch people can see it too.
Yes,
correct.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much all we got. Is there anything else we want to say? Cookies. We mentioned cookies.
Cookies. Oh, hey, Carol wants to know, Abo, do you use OBS or XSplit?
I like XSplit, but I don't like the fact that you have to pay money for it, and the only reason I would pay money for it is because of the virtual webcam that it comes with,
which is what I'm using right now.
Yes, I use
my thing.
So I use OBS for that purpose. It is, I think, a little bit of a leaner program, but XSplit definitely has much more features. It definitely has a lot more professional features if you really want to make it really spiffy. But when I'm on my PlayStation, though, I don't have a import card. I may get one at some point if it really becomes serious. But right now, when I'm on the PlayStation, I just use the built-in Twitch app. I did the built-in PlayStation sharing. It's nothing special. I can see the chat on the screen, and it's
And if you set up your webcam, you can do a webcam. You can do the most basic things, but you can't create overlays on the PlayStation, which is what people like to do on XSplit or OBS or whatever they're using.
Yeah, and even Twitch even has you can even do a what is it, first party overlay? Twitch will even let you do that, or is it second party? It's one of those weird things where it's not your setup that's sending it, but it's also not Twitch. Just like some kind of like a middleman that actually can put up those overlays for you, and it's kind of neat. Also the new Curse client, I believe, has some streaming in it. And if you have, and a lot of the webcams are starting to come with their own streaming stuff. So Razer has its own, I believe. So does Logitech. So
that's true. They're Game Center, Gamecaster, I think they're calling it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So it's not just OBS and XSplit anymore. A lot more of these companies are realizing that everyone wants to stream, so they're starting to make it a lot more available.
Right.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a fun little way of reaching out to people. I mean, obviously, we're going to try to use that to get people excited about the game so they can join us in AIE. I mean, I'm going to be very honest with that. I'm using it as a recruiting tool. Try to get people who have not experienced the awesomeness that is AIE to see. Oh, hey, AIE is pretty awesome. Let's go join AIE.
I can tell you, as parent of a young geek or teenage geek, she is constantly watching various streamers play various games, and that's kind of how she finds out what's out there. So that is a great tool.
Yeah, it's just like you used to go over to your friend's house and sit on your couch and watch them play. Now you don't have to go anywhere. You can sit on your own couch and see what the games are like.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. And for the stream that I'm putting out there, for anyone who has wandered around Twitch for a little bit, there is a lot of people out there that do speak in special colorful languages. That will not be a case here in the Abavan 69 channel. The Abavan 69 channel will continue to follow the AIE chat mindset.
Awesome.
And will follow basic civility. So if you're still looking for awesome people to play with and not worry about people who have no creativity when it comes to speech.
Keeping up our base values no matter what format.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so there are some colorful streamers out there, and then there's
Awesome.
Avavan. It's just kind of a consistent hue.
Yes.
Nothing is wrong with that.
No.
My whole
Right.
thought process is the English language has millions and millions and millions of words. I can get by without using 13.
Awesome. All right.
And
So
I said,
any more on that guys?
Yeah, we didn't touch early on Stormblood at all, but that's probably something that'll be for a whole podcast on its own.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the new
Now-
expansion.
If you think
Yes.
the 3.5 patch notes were big, they're
Oof.
doing all kinds of fun stuff. I mean, we've had 2 of the actual Fan Fest events now, right? We're waiting for the last one, I think.
Yep, for Europe.
Yep.
And if you get onto those, they do live stream them, and you can get digital goods for, paying
Just like
the money
those
to subscribe. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Virtual ticket, right?
Mhm.
And that's allegedly it's coming in March, right?
Cool.
And Red Mage. You
Yep,
played
probably.
FFX 11 or X11, FF11. Roman numerals are hard, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, so we have 26 days until the European Fan Fest, which is going to be over in Germany. Still done in English. There will be a live stream if you do want to pay for it. You do get a pet, and you do get some cosmetic gear if you do purchase the stream.
Yep.
So it's again, it's sort of like the little mini BlizzCon, but they did one in Vegas, they did one in Tokyo, and now they're doing one in this year Germany.
Yeah, and
It
they'll
will be
probably.
this one will be in English, though, not it won't be in German.
Oh, and a special heads up on that. If you do purchase it and subscribe to the live stream, the way they're doing this is they're not giving you the items directly. They give you the basically redeemable tickets or tokens to get them when they're in the game. Be sure that you go back and actually click on the claim link through their websites, because if you don't do that within, I think, 30 days or something, you lose it. So
Yeah.
make sure you go and actually claim those. It's a separate process.
Right.
So don't lose your cool swag.
Yep.
And,
Yep. And they're going to launch it after the last Fan Fest. That way, everybody gets it all at once.
Exactly.
We'll say this for the next time that we're on, but they did talk about all the different versions of the game coming out. We'll collection editions with all the loots. But either way, if you buy the super awesome collector's edition or digital collectors or standard or whatever, Stormblood will be available to go in and adventuring in Stormblood on June 20th.
I'm going to buy the super special platinum Tiger Director's Cut edition.
Turbo.
Turbo.
Triple
Yes.
Ultra. Yep. And that's probably it, isn't it?
That's all I got.
Yeah. Of course, any questions, come on down to Discord. We'll chat with you all day long, all night long. But as far as this, I'm out.
Awesome.
And,
All right. Hey, Mew, do we have any shout outs?
Yeah, speaking of Discord, we do have some Discord shout-outs. First, we'll start with at Ben the Mage. Shout out to the Fert Grade team, that sounds familiar, for our successful first step into the Night Hold.
Yep, we made it in. We killed the first boss on our last pull of the night, and it's a fun fight, but it's a tanking nightmare. And
Does the tank.
yep, and Stole It, who is in the chat room. Shout out to the Pepperjack Fan Club raid team for downing 3 bosses in Nighthold and 2 in the Trial of Valor.
Good job.
Awesome. And from Grimcow, shout out to the DOA, Dojo of Awesome. They cleared Eon Heroic and TOV Normal just in time for Nighthold to drop. Also, last Wednesday, our own Nevermore had a birthday, so shout out to her. Happy birthday.
Yay.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, Never.
Yeah, and I think Barb, Miss Mulgra, had a birthday on the same day.
You're right, or it's like the day after. Shoot, I forgot to say anything. So
Adjacent.
happy birthday, Barb.
Yep.
Yep.
And she
To
got her
all your
4th
other birthday
legend.
people, happy birthday.
She got her 4th legendary in WoW on her birthday.
Perfect. Yes, and wow,
Yep.
that's what we just said.
Wow.
Wow.
All right. And that's our show for tonight. While the chat room begins suggesting show titles, we want to thank
Or notes.
Adelman and Duras for joining us.
Hey, thank you.
Yay.
It's been a while.
And then I put your contact information in the show notes. So if there's anything else you want to put in there, let me know. Twitch. I got your oh, Doris, you've got it as well. Cool.
Yep. And if there's
Yes,
anything
yes.
you want to plug, anything you're up to, anything else besides what we're putting in the show notes that's coming up that you want to tell everyone about?
No, just come join AIE. We're awesome. Play games with us. We play lots of games.
I cleaned up my basement. That's pretty cool.
And if you're on the PlayStation, join our community. Join the community. Not enough talking going on in there.
Yes. Even to say, just random blah in the
Blah.
free company chat. Say hello. Keep the conversation moving here.
Blah.
We love to hear from you. I don't know how to help you if you don't tell me how I can help you.
I need more
Let
time.
me help you.
Can you help me with more time?
Yeah. No.
Can
You
you
have,
make
a,
more
you have a
cookies?
toddler. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah. Well, at least I don't have two.
I wonder who has two twin toddlers.
I have two that
Yeah,
aren't
good luck,
toddlers. One of them's asleep on the couch right now.
Mm.
We have a 14-year-old that's self-sufficient and can go the entire day napping. So we're good.
We need a few years for that.
Yeah.
A
Get
few
in the
minutes.
kitchen. Abbo, get in the kitchen. We need more cookies.
Cookies? All right, I'll wait on that.
Ah,
All right. And if you have a question or comment about the show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can follow us on Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. Mew is at The Mew Cow. McCullough is at Cyberwave. And Tetsemi is at Ivory Tiger. We record live with video every other Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room and play along with us on our website at theAIEguild.org and just look for the podcast link at the top. And our Discord server chat, if you just go to bit.ly/AIE podcast Discord, it'll take you right to it. Our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys with Soul or visit his website, keyswithsoul.com.
and now it's time to play all the great AIE member segments we received this week, including, well, the one that we have right now is Overly Dramatic News with the always awesome At Hunts the Wind.
Next time, we're working on scheduling the next guest. Otherwise, you might just hear from us. You've been warned. So, until then, AIE,
This is McCullough.
This is Tetsemi.
this is Muka, and this has been the AIE Podcast.
Yay.
Bye.
Woot woot. All right. What do we have for show titles?
We have some good ones, actually.
More cookies, please.
Well, it's up to you two to pick, so
We get
Ah.
It's coming out strong with preparing for the multi-hall campaigns, and also a very strong entry here. Visit the guild house, stay for the cookies. That's a very strong one. Ralph comes out with, what do you want on your tombstone?
I like that one.
Oh,
And,
that's cute. Oh, good,
in
actually.
animation, you never saw such a party.
your keyboard's loud, huh? I got this new one.
Oh, wait, we talking keyboards?
I had to mute several times.
Yes.
We talking keyboards. So what do you like?
That
I
one.
see the.
I think the what do you want on your tombstone?
Yeah,
gotta go
I
with
think,
that.
yeah, I'm good with
Because
that.
that's
one.
been a long running joke. Because for the
Yes.
longest time, you, Abovan,
Yes, I have.
calling him
Someone finally
Tombstone.
Tombstone.
someone finally corrected me. I was like, oh yeah, it is tombstones.
Because I was wondering for the longest time what you were talking about. I'm like, Tombstone, that was such a dismal thing. Why do I want to collect those? That's creepy.
All right. Well, then we'll give it to
Awesome.
Ralph.
Thank you
Give it a
guys
go.
so much.
Thank
And
you.
Thank you, chat room, for joining us. As always, you guys were awesome.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast.